Hi all, welcome back to BRR Knowledge Center. And in this section, we'll talk about uh, how to register an application for Azure Active Directory. So that is what the main feature of Azure Active Directory, where you can share your resources or application access to the customers using Active Directory by just their login with their users, so that it will validate from the Microsoft Identity platform and then navigate back to your application. Let me get into this and just opening my Azure portal, and where this is what my Azure portal, and this is what my default directory can be called as tenant default directory 33, and the name was default directory 33, and this is what the tenant ID, and this is what the primary domain name which is creating when you create a tenant, and this is going to be added to your users or any applications which you are registering under this directory. Okay, let's get into this app registration part. Click on app registrations. So where you will see already created applications here. This is what one of the application has been created already to access Microsoft Graph API, and so you can see the endpoints here, where you will have endpoints here, OAuth 2.0 authorization endpoint and OAuth 2.0 token endpoint and OAuth 2.0 authorization endpoint version 1 and OpenID Connect and Microsoft API endpoint, Graph API and Federation metadata document and WS Federation sign-on endpoint and SAML-P sign-on endpoint and SAML-P sign-out endpoint, right? I think almost this OAuth 2.0 version 1 was rolled out, I think. So we'll be using version 2 here. So let's get into this. Just closing this, and here just click on new registration. So you just specify the name of this application. I'll say a sample app, and you choose the support account types here. There are a couple of access API, account type here. Accounts in this organizational directory only, or accounts in any organizational directory. Accounts in any organizational directory, like any Azure Active Directory or multi-tenant, and personal Microsoft accounts, etc. And personal Microsoft accounts only. So I'll choose accounts in this organization directory only, this one, and then going back here and say proceeding this, and just clicking on this create, so that it will create your application registering into here. Display name was sample app, and this is what the application ID, and this is what object ID, and this is the directory and the tenant ID, and this is what the managed application name, local directory name. And if you look at here, you will have quick starts here to build apps, build your application with Microsoft Identity Platform. So I think we'll see this stuff here. View all quick start guides or build powerful apps with rich user and business data from Microsoft services and your own company's data sources. So I'm just clicking on view quick start sample here, and I'll choose web app, and here I'll choose ASP.NET Core. And if you look at here, configure your application in Azure portal. For the code sample in this kickstart to work on this redirect URL, that is 44321 and 44321 sign on ODC, and the front channel logout was this one. Just click on make this change for me, and just to say configure, so that it will configure this stuff. And going back to this, download the ASP.NET Core project. So here you will download that quick start example here, and I'll just click on download the code sample, so that it will download the required stuff. Let me do this while it is going on off. no, just click on this. Yeah, now it's fine. So it was downloaded here, and here tip was to avoid errors caused by path length limitations in Windows. We recommend extracting the archive or cloning the repository into directory near the root of your drive. And coming to here, this is what the some workflow sample how it works. This is what the site which you have downloaded right now. After opening this site, you just browse this site, the ASP.NET Core Web App, and this will connect to Microsoft Identity Platform. That means it redirect to this browser. So this browser will send the credentials prompt, whether it is Microsoft Identity or Google Identity or Twitter Identity or Facebook Identity, based on the code which you have written in your application. It is going to prompt that particular login screen. Once, in this case, it was Microsoft. Once it prompts with Microsoft login credential screen, just give your user details here, that what you have created earlier, and then it will validate the identity and then pass the access token, redirect back to the web browser, and web browser will redirect to the actual URL of your application, and that access token pass it to your ASP.NET Core Web API, and then Web API will check that access token and will render the actual application. So to do this, I think we need to add this policy and authorization policy builder and filters, and we need to pass a client ID, instance ID, tenant ID, and that we need to configure it. So this is how I think we need to do this registration of our app. And once you did this, so what you have to do was you just open the already downloaded file and just start building this. So let me see that in the next video, like how to open and how to give already created a tenant ID and a secret ID and how to build the application, right? Okay, let's see that in the next video. Thanks for watching this video.